What's going on, guys? It's your girl Isis, and I'm here for a live interview with a special interview for the Women That Rock. And today I'm here with D Woods, and we're going to be finding out some deep things about her. We're going to find out who D Woods is as an artist. I want to really find out what she's got cooking, everything she's been working for. No, I reached out to social media and asked them, did they have any questions for you? And they have questions. They are like, she's a great artist, and where's she been? And so I'm going to answer those questions for her, or we're going to try to answer those questions today. Okay. All right, so first I want to start off, let everybody know about your influences in music, because the one thing that I noticed personally when we all were first introduced to you, the reason everyone was behind you as far as they wanted you to be in the group is you could see the artistry. There was something in you that was different than I just want to be on TV, or I can sing so I will sing. It was more of like a passion you could see in a person. So that's why everyone was like rooting for you. You were like that strong part of the group because it seemed like you were the one with the passion. So I want to find out, where did that passion stir from? Where, when did this first start for you?
Well, I started on stage at the age of 3 years old, and my mother can tell you the story, and I just immediately got the bug for stage. And she thought that it was too much for me. She thought that the rehearsal hours were too long and she would need to pull me out, and I, being the defiant child, it's like, no. And I just remember, I just was like, so my memories of it is, I just thought I just needed to be on point, and I need to be in my place. I need to be laying down. It was like a Pinocchio, costume that I had on, and I had the little bells, I had to make sure my costume was right. And from there, it just started from there. And I just remember, my sister and I, we just ate, sleep, breathe, performing. We were in our bedrooms performing for the mirror, in the backyard, reenacting performances, you know what I mean? You couldn't tell us that we were not on Madison Square Garden stage, and we was in the backyard giving a show for the birds and the dogs. So I mean, it really started from there. It started in dance, and it trickled over into theater. I started getting into regional theater by the age of 5, 6. And, I was doing a lot of August Wilson plays and stuff like that, like working with Broadway actors that were like traveling and doing regional theater. I'm originally from Springfield, Massachusetts. So, in my dance school, at the theater, I'm working. I relocated to Atlanta in high school, and I went to Tri-Cities Performing Arts High School. And there they were just like a breeding ground. They were just like, never say no, never say you can't, you know what I mean, try. So it was like, I can do that, you know what I mean. And it was like music kind of just always was there, because I was always dancing. I was always like writing my own little songs, my little answer records to Another Bad Creation, whoever was out, you know what I mean, like seeing myself as like the 4th member of TLC and all that good stuff. And got like to the point where when I got down here and everybody was a part of the music industry, everybody, still a lot of my good friends who are in the music industry to this day either graduated from Tri-Cities or was there while I was there, because it just seemed like no one really graduates from that school. We all just keep coming back, and we keep doing stuff, and the instructors, encourage us to come back and speak to the current students, give them opportunities. And same thing happened when I was there, so I'm doing the same thing with them. So yeah, it's just like a lifestyle. It's not okay, today I want to sing. It's like, I don't even notice that I did a pirouette while going to get something to drink at the at the refrigerator. Yeah, or like I'm in the shower for like a half hour, 45 minutes, because I was just singing like 5 songs. I just had a whole concert by myself. So yeah, that's really where it comes from. So stepping into the line to audition for making a band, that was just like, another part of the saga, because I had been on stage, I've been touring with artists, you know what I mean? I was a part of theater companies, I went to New York University to study acting there. I was in the musical theater department there. Study music, business, music theory, arts administration, film and television producing. It was like, this is what I'm gonna do.
So that you were really so in depth in it. It was your life. That was your life. That was your goal. You already had it preset in your mind, is that this is something that I'm going to pursue. Now, before we move forward, I do want to say, because you did bring up the school, the high school, and giving back. One of the social media questions were, how did it feel to go back to your school when you went with Candy and for the premiere? So how did that feel?
Well, because I was just up there probably like the week before. No, like, I'm serious. Like, the relationship that we have with those faculty members, the principal at the show, Mr. Sims, and Viola Turner, the magnet director, and Tony Loho, like they're just, I can call them right now and say, I need something, and they will find, they found opportunities for us while we were in high school on a professional level, and still to this day, and I shot one of my music videos at the high school. I used a lot of the students in the school in the video, and y'all can go see it on my website, missdwoods.com. The song is called Foolish Dreamer. And it's really all about, like, it starts from early, and even though people can't see it, you gotta see it. You're dreaming, and they may laugh, they may tell you you're never gonna make it, but when you do make it, you're gonna be like, I told you, So I've been going back to the school, doing a lot of motivational speaking. I did a mentorship program there called Foolish Dreamers, and actually the dancer that we picked was one of my dreamers, and her name is Brianna. So when Candy picked her, I was like, see, she good. I know she good because I already worked for her and I already got her mind right. She ready for the opportunity that you about to give her, because, sometimes it's not about how good you are, how talented you are. If you don't have the right mindset, you can mess up your own, opportunity just because you ain't mentally ready. So, yeah.
When you went into Danity Kane, the group, what did you think about, because you just said that I already had this idea as a career for me. It wasn't just something that it's an opportunity, I'm just going to jump in it. But you actually saw this as a stepping stone for your career. You said you had been doing theater. But I wanted to ask the question, as experienced an artist as you are, what was your true idea of a pop group? Was that something that you really wanted to do? Or how did you feel about the group itself? Because, I mean, your artistry just showed.
Well, it's funny. I never expected to be picked for the group. I just didn't. I just didn't think I was what they were looking for. Yeah. But I used the opportunity to showcase myself in the audition process, because, like, I know I'm dope. I might not be right for this particular situation. Who cares? But I'm still gonna be here. I'm still gonna show off. This is a time for me to just show what I can do. You know what I mean? And because I had been in the audition room so much in my life, I just know that a lot of times the job that you get isn't the job that you went out for. Somebody is going to, if you just, put your best out there, the right situation is going to, assert itself for you. Somebody hanging out in the back, the intern, the assistant, somebody who wasn't really supposed to be there, but they were just there. Or you might connect with someone who's also auditioning with you. Like, you just really never know what you're going to get out of being just in the right place at the right time. So that's all I was really there for, was just to show what I can do. And y'all gonna see me later. That was basically my attitude. Like, all right, I did that. I got a flight to catch. You know what I'm saying? Because
and you were chat when they were like, oh, okay.
I was just like, we got these, and it was, a lot of business that you can't get, swept up in the whole hype of it, and because I had my, music business, arts administration background. We looked at that paperwork. Like, that don't sound right. We gonna talk to somebody about this. But a lot of girls were just here signing their life away, and I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm going to have some. I don't care what's the deadline. Well, when my lawyer gets it back is when I'll have it back. You know, that was my thing, and not to be cocky, but it's just like you never want to be desperate.
You are just rolling right with all the questions that I have. And that was another one of my questions. It was like, I know I always have a conversation with my business partner. We always have the conversation about when you're successful, a lot of times people have to make that decision. Do they get caught up in the fame, or do they still stay grounded where they understand their artistry and never lose that and never sacrifice it for, you know, another album, another platinum album? And the thing I noticed is that you were okay walking away. You were okay.
Oh, yeah,
and I think that's
the answer to my prayer. Oh, what you say? What? You know what you just said now. All right, I ain't gonna argue with you because I mean, we all know how this business is, and especially him. You know, he has a track record, and you know, my lawyer, after looking at that paperwork for the first time, he was like, you know what? I would never advise any of my clients to ever sign this. However, what do you think your chances are in the millions of the sea of people who are trying to get here? Like, this has a television component. You know, if this didn't have a television show attached to it, I would tell you, we're going to shred this right here in my office.
So for you, the promotional value is what you were like, okay, boom, it was but I know when to get out.
Yeah, it was a platform, you know, this was before I even made the group, because we were presented with the paperwork upon our first audition. So this is before you even know if you even made it to live in the house. So it was like, you know, what do you think? You know, you want to gamble on this, or do you want to gamble on another opportunity? 'Cause either way, nothing's guaranteed. And something, you know, my father always told me, he was like, it's called show business. The business is gonna make or break your show. So it's just like, you know, having that mindset, like, all right, I might have to, now I'm playing chess. You know, I'm not here to do, you know, of course I want to do my passion, to do the talent and the creativity, but I may not ever get to that point if, you know, I don't play the game, you know what I mean? And you never, there's no rules to the game that, you know, are going to be laid out for you before you step into the ring, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times you're learning by experience, and it was just like, you know, a very intense PhD study.
But the good thing is you already had your master's, so that's the good thing. Well, like, you had training. You had your bachelor's.
I had my bachelor's, but I didn't, you know, there's no book that can tell you how to deal with one of the most notorious moguls of the music industry of our generation. You know what I mean? Like, you know what the book says, but he playing with a whole nother book that you ain't even know existed. So you just gotta, like, roll with it, you know what I mean? And at the same time, try to hold on to the piece of yourself, the reason why you did it in the first place. So that you know, balance act is hard, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of times where you just question, like, did I do the right?
And that was the next question. Did you look at my notes, girl? Did you have any regrets? Did you have any regrets afterwards?
A lot of times I do have many regrets, but at the same time, like I said, you know, what's meant for you is meant for you. So, you know, you go through things and maybe you don't know why until later. You know, it's a setup for what you are going to do. You know, like what you went through, your setbacks are really a setup for something else. So upon walking out of that little boardroom meeting, you know, I was like, hey man, I need you to get that in writing, because he said it. And you know what I mean, I thought it was gonna be like, oh, freedom dance, but it's a lot harder, you know. And you're wondering if you made the right decisions, but you also know that thing inside of you that's like, you can't question, you know, because when you do question it, some other stuff happened. So you just have to say, all right, I'm just walking by faith right now. Something's gonna work out. I don't know what it's gonna be, but I was so sure in the moment. and I didn't ask for it.
Right.
You know, a lot of people are like, you just walked away. Like, no, he told me to leave. Wow. Like, your landlord puts that eviction notice up. You can't stay and argue about the heat. Mm-hmm. You don't live here no more. Get out. So, you know what I'm saying? That's right. The same, you know, circumstance that I was, okay, I mean, I guess.
Because, you know, the way they made it look on television was as if you just walked away and got up from the table and left. But it was...
He said, get out.
Right. And, you know, a lot of people asked that question. They said, did he ever really tell her to go, or did he tell the other girl to go?
No, he told me to go. And they played it. I don't know why people don't hear that part. But, yeah, he did say it. And I asked him, are you sure? And he said, what you mean? Am I sure? It's like, all right. He said it. You know what I mean? But, I mean, with editing... Right. And the brainwashing of television, you know, they wanted to me to look like the bad guy. So it's like, what can you do? I know what happened. You wasn't in the room, so whatever.
Right. I feel you. So my next question, do you think the fame that you guys had was too fast?
Not for me. But, you know, I think the industry did not and still does not respect who we were as a group.
All right, so now we have had the opportunity to be introduced to you. And like I said, everyone saw something different about D Woods. So now, do you feel like that time away, that breakup, that gave you an opportunity to find yourself as an artist, or to even introduce yourself as the artist D Woods?
Yes, but for me, I'm always who I am. Mm-hmm. And in that situation, no, I was not going to evolve into who I am today at this present time, because it was very restrictive and confining. Mm-hmm. And I was, you know, holding myself back a lot. Right. So being, you know, freed from that situation, I say to people, you're going to meet me for the first time. And I've been consistently showing people. Now, if y'all tuned out, that ain't really my bad, you know, but like the track record is there. You can look at the dates, you know what I'm saying, of the releases, because immediately, you know, yeah, I mean, the train don't stop, you know. It's like, all right, cool, thank you for the opportunity. I'm gonna go do it over here now, because they're actually waiting for me, you know. Right. So, and that's exactly what I did. And, you know, you just invest in yourself, you bet on yourself, and you gamble on yourself, because if you wait around for somebody to hand you and give you permission, you're going to be waiting forever. Yeah. So, you know, I just basically rocked with who was rocking with me, mm-hmm. and continued doing what I always did. And now I just had no training wheels on me. I had no like muzzle on, mm-hmm. you know what I'm saying? I'm going to sing as loud as I want.
Right.
I'm not.
So the creativity, you definitely have it now, because you're doing it. You're doing it yourself, so.
Yeah, I mean, I always had it. I just never had, and I didn't have the opportunity to show it right. in that situation. So the first release that I did is a song called Legalize Me, you know, through my label, Wood Grain Entertainment. And, you know, we went ham on that, you know what I'm saying? And I had, you know, video directors respected in the game being like, yo, you did that. I wrote that treatment, you know what I'm saying, my DP over here, you know what I'm saying, like pointing the camera, you know what I'm saying, like I paid for that. I paid for the, you know, hair, wardrobe, dancers, extras, did, you know, casting call, right. Location scout. Like, you just do what you know what I'm saying, and put it together and bet on yourself, you know, and have enough humility when you don't know something to ask, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. it's just a phone call away. I don't know how to do that. So-and-so does. Right. Boop, 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 boop. You know,
a lot of people have a problem asking, mm-hmm. and that's so important. So, yeah, say that again one more time.
Yeah, you have not because you ask not, okay? And so I be asking, shoot, all you can say is no.
Right. Girl, she in my book, y'all. I promise she's in my book. Okay. So now, D Woods, you got the new single, Call It Quits.
Yeah.
Tell us about Call It Quits.
Well, you know, since we started back in you know, that part of the journey, so ironic, the co-writer, her name is Kissy Lee, we got together at a writer's retreat. You know, just a bunch of writers who get together and write a whole bunch of songs, and we all pitch them to artists who are looking. And Kissy actually was a contestant on Making the Band. Before I got there, I wasn't there the season she was there, so we didn't meet on the show, but we met at this writer's retreat. But we just instantly clicked, and we banged this song out like in 2 hours. You know, the producer Mike Bombs, you know, he had his folder, you know, on the computer, and just everybody was just picking songs out of his folder. He just had the hottest tracks there, you know, no shade and nobody else who was there, but his tracks was hot. So, you know what I mean? Immediately I was like, oh, I like this, yo, this song sound like, oh. So we just, you know, we just instantly clicked, and it was so much fun just putting it together, like both of our ideas just combining. The song is basically about, you know, telling your guy or your significant other, you know, I ain't gonna let you just walk away. Where you gonna go though? Alright, she ain't gonna be better than me though. And you know it, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like kind of like a bossy yet vulnerable like way. And you know, I feel like females need that, because we're either totally objectified sexually, or we just crying on our hands and knees asking for a dude like who did something wrong to us to stay. And it's like, I know I'm the bomb, but you need to know that too. You know what I'm saying? So basically that's what Call It Quits is. And it's like, don't, the thing I say over and over is like, don't act like you ain't with it, you know, stop acting, come on now, you know, it's not time to call it quits. So that's where the song really came from. And you know, there's a lot of haters out there, so I debated whether or not I should even call it quits, because people like to use stuff against me. But I was like, you know what, at the same time, I'm talking to the fans out there too, because a lot of people out there, you know, they're fair weather fans, and it's like, you know, I'm not gonna let y'all just walk away from this relationship that we have started. You know, y'all say y'all was riding me from the beginning, so ride with me to the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have not changed. I have gotten better. You know what I'm saying? And I am giving y'all my best. So if you are going to be closed off to accepting what I'm giving, which I know is my best, then you're all the ones that's going to miss out on the party over here that we don't have.
You have the opportunity. Well, you're more than the opportunity. You've done it. Yeah. You're acting next to Monique and Isaiah Washington. How does that feel? Tell us about it, and when can we see it?
Well, yes, Blackbird premiered at the 22nd Pan-African Film Festival in LA to rave reviews. You know, doing this film, like, you know, reaching out to my agents, you know, in this transitional period, like, I'm being selective of what things. So people are always like, well, you in Atlanta, why don't you just do this or that and the other? And it's like, I mean, I can, but that's not really going to show the range that I want to show. Right. And, you know, people just think you woke up one day and you decided you wanted to act. It's like, nah, I've been kind of doing this for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I got Sally Mae deficits. I'm paying off for the day that I decided I wanted to act. But yeah, I did Monique's talk show, the Monique show that was on BET, and that was when I first, you know, broke away from the group, and I started my label, and I got the opportunity to do a performance and have an interview, and that was right after she won her Oscar. So it was kind of like, you know, she had some really encouraging words just like offline to me, you know, just after my performance. She was just like, everybody wasn't meant to be in a group. And I was just like, she said that, you know what I mean? Right. And then, you know, 4 years later, I mean, I didn't even know she was an executive producer on the film, but a friend of mine who's another actor told me he was going out for this film. So he told me about it. And I just bugged the hell out of my agent and was like, there's this film, I think it's dope. We should do it. We should get me in it. I don't know what we got to do. Call them, send a text message, what we got to do. And I auditioned, sent my submission in. They asked me to read for another role. And I was like, as long as they keep wanting to see me, I'm going to do as many roles as you want. You want me to do the boy role too? You know what I'm saying? I'll pull my hair back, you know. And then they chose me, and come to find out, she was executive producer, Isaiah Washington, producer on it. And, you know, some really, like, good new talent. And she was so, like, receptive when she saw me on set, like, oh, my gosh, you're here. And, you know, like, so... you know, encouraging, like everybody kind of like backing everybody up when it's someone else's scene, because it's very raw, very just emotionally just like tear you apart. Like, and you gotta have comedy on the sidelines just so we can get through the day and you don't go home and cry your eyes out. Like, everybody gotta go eat. Okay, we gotta go have prank time or something, because that last scene was heavy now, you know what I'm saying? So, but, you know, I'm really happy to be a part of that project, and I hope that it goes to commercial theaters, because it's making its way through the film festival circuit right now. So, to, you know, a city near you, just check out BLK Bird, the film, on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and that's how you can find out where it's going to be next, the different festivals it's playing at.
Awesome. All right, so what's in your future? What's ahead for D Woods? And when's the album coming out? My Favorite Color.
Well, we're going to drop a mixtape first, because everybody got to do a mixtape. But I'm definitely going to do the My Favorite Color Reloaded, because there's volume 1 that's already out now. Everybody can go get it on MissDWoods.com. So we're going to do My Favorite Color Reloaded, dropping in the end of May. Probably right about time when you turn it up for Memorial Day, so you'll have something to play at the barbecue. So that's my goal, and you know, I'm getting a lot of love from DJs, and you're gonna be hearing a lot of it spinning throughout the summertime, and hopefully we'll get that full LP out, you know, by the end of this year. But we're gonna give you some good tunes to just ride to for the summer.
Love it, man. Miss D Woods, she sat down and she gave y'all the real. This girl is for real, for real. How do I know? Because she thinking like me out my notebook, so you know. This is a woman that rocks, and you're watching IHearThatGirl.com.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl D Woods, and you are watching IHearThatGirl.com.
If today was the last day, would you still say you had